All right, so welcome to another fast, no bullshit review, and on this one, VHS, Super VHS from Baby Audio. So this is kind of a new company. It's making a lot of plugins right now, but they started with a couple of plugins, and I believe this one is the second plugin they've made, and it's quite good. The first 2 or 3 plugins from the company were really good. The next, the other ones, maybe are not that good, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'm going to give you my opinion at the end. So this is essentially what it is a lo-fi kind of a plugin. So if you don't know what a VHS is a tape, but for movies. Yeah, so instead of using a cassette, we use a VHS. So before Netflix, we had to go to a shop like Blockbuster, rent a cassette called VHS, and since it was a tape, it was pretty crappy because it will give you saturation, it will give you the lo-fi and wobbling. Because if you buy a VHS movie, the first times that you play it, it's good quality. But as you play the same VHS hundreds of times, the quality is gonna start dropping, and that's where you get this lo-fi, this saturation, and this wobbling. Okay, so this is the nature of the this plugin. Is that kind of a saturation lo-fi kind of thing. So let me just give you a walk around through the different controls. So what you get is the heat. So the heat is saturation. And since this is a VHS inspired plugin, this is kind of a tape saturation, which is really not. It's more like a normal saturation, but well, Then you have the wash. So the wash is a dark hall reverb. And again, it's just a reverb, which is something that you don't get with, of course, VHS, but they thought it was a nice idea to add, just a reverb. And it was a good idea. It's a good reverb. Then you have the drift. Now remember, when you rent a movie and you're the 1,000 customer, the tape, it's going to be pretty messed up. So you're going to start getting inconsistencies on the sound because the tape is in a bad shape. So this one what we'll do, it will just add this inconsistency with the pitch. So yeah, you get that wobbling that you get with tape. And then you have the magic. So the magic is a dark chorus, and it sounds really great because it makes the sound wider and bigger. In essence, it's just a chorus. That's what it is. And then at the bottom, you get more options like the static. This one, maybe you can hear it. It's a static. That's it, something you get with VHS. And then you get the shape. So the shape is a bit crusher. And we are going to hear this in a minute. And of course, since you can add saturation and you can do a lot of things, you can guess that the volume of the overall plugin is going to go up when you add more saturation, right? The volumes just will rise. So this one has an internal limiter, just to control the volume that goes out and it's not clipping. So yeah, it has an internal limiting that you have no control over it, but it's there. Okay, so let's just give it a listen. I'm going to go and play the whole track, and then I'm going to kind of a solo single track so you can hear what it's doing. Right now, it's completely off. So if I play this is the track, is a unfinished, not really mixed and mastered track, but that's fine. It's going to work. So this is the ARP, all right? This is the sound. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Super VHS, and I'm going to go and introduce a little bit of saturation. And right from the start, you can hear it. And notice that the volume goes up. But it's not going crazy. All right, so that's the first thing you can do. Go really wild. Notice that the volume stays in check. Of course, we have more volume, but it's more density than volume. Then you have the wash, and the wash, remember, it's a hall kind of a reverb. So I'm gonna go. Right, so cool. And then remember you have the drift because we need these inconsistencies with the pitch. So I'm gonna go and start doing drift. There you go. All right. And of course, you can go and do static to add some noise to the sound. Alright, maybe don't like that much, but then you get a shape, and the shape is a bit crusher. Now, okay, this thing can do, you know, a lot of things. If you think about this, is a very simple plugin, but you can do saturation, you can do kind of that wobbling effect, you can have reverb, you can have a noise generator, and you can do bit crusher, and you can do chorus, and the chorus is just great. Let me just show you. I'm gonna go and back off on the you know, the options right here, the knobs, because if not, it's just maybe too much, right? I'm gonna go back, and it sounds nice, but I would like to make it bigger. There you go, bigger. And in the context of the track, it's off, then on. I'm gonna go bring the track. It's nice. Now, of course, notice the in and notice the out right here. So I'm gonna go and level the out. And off. And on. Let me go to the verse. Off. Not very special, much more special. Now, of course, remember that if maybe you like the sound, but maybe it's too aggressive for the track, you have a blend control. And this one is really important because you can go and just use more of the original sound. Let me go to this one. So there you go, you keep a little bit of the original sound and then you just blend it with the other one. Alright, so let me just play it with the track. Off. Okay, you can simply use this instead of just using all the knobs. You just can bring a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Maybe just keep the chorus and a little bit of saturation, and you don't need much. And it's doing a lot, making a lot of difference. See, really different. And if you don't want the chorus because maybe the track needs to be as mono as possible, just introducing a little bit of saturation, it will just do the trick. And remember, you can use the blend. Alright. So let me change the track. I'm going to put it on a bass right now. And the bass sounds like very synthwave, right? So of course, since this is a bass, one of the oldest tricks in the book is to add a chorus to the bass. And this one has a chorus, so makes it really big. Now remember that the bass needs to be, we need to have a very mono-center bass sometimes, which is kind of the rule. So if we are adding a big chorus, this is too wide and it will affect the low end. Remember, we have a blend. Right? So we can use that into our advantage. Notice how the sound changes. Listen to the bass, of course. We go to a verse. Off. On. It's really there. We can hear the bass. So you can even use this with automation, maybe on an effects channel, just to provide the magic. Just to use the chorus at 100% mix. That's why we get the mix. So of all of these options, I believe the mix is one of the most important knobs right here, or controls right here. All right, so let me give you my conclusion. If you go to their website, now they released this plugin. Maybe you're gonna watch this in the future and they will have other plugins. And let me just tell you my experience with them. When they were just starting, you know, creating plugins, they released this one, which I thought it's not a great plugin, but it's nice and it's creative. It has a good idea, so it's different, and I really liked it. That's why I got it. Then I believe they released the Super VHS and then the Parallel Aggressor, but then I believe it was the Super VHS. I'm not so sure. And I bought it and I really liked it, just like I liked this one. Never used this one on a real context, but I've used this one on a real context several times, and I really liked it. And then they start releasing the combat kit, which is a delay, this one, and now they have this too. Now, this is a company that, again, this one works just like Denise Audio. They like to do plugins and to spend some time developing the plugin, and they spend most of the time doing promotions. And yeah, and that's my problem with this company. They spend a lot of time doing promotion and not really developing the plugin. Because if you think about this plugin, even though it's good, it could be much better. You cannot even save nor store presets. You don't have a menu. You don't have oversampling. There are a lot of things that you don't get. Because if you think about this is just a saturation, just a chorus, and very simple things. It works, but it's very simple. Now, if you go to the manual just to know what are the values, what are they using, what is the chorus, more technical information, you don't get any kind of information on the manual. This is how this company works. They don't give you any kind of information. They give you a well-designed, very colorful, kind of a manual, like for kids, a manual for kids, and no information at all. So this is my only problem. The plugin is good, but it's very basic. Now, the other ones, some of them, they give you menus, but the menus are really bad. And I will do a review of all the other products. But let me just go to this one. So if I go to this one, it says $49. So, the price is right. At least the price for this one, it's cool. And you can get a free trial so you can try it as well. But in my opinion, of all the plugins Baby Audio has to offer, this is my favorite, and I believe this is the best one. And the price is right, so I could recommend it, right? But again, the pros are just, it sounds awesome. It's not just a saturation device. It's very easy to use. It's well priced, and you can use it on many tracks. That's it. You don't have a lot of cons. And the only thing I could think about the only bad thing I could think about this one is that you cannot save presets, which could be a really useful thing, right? Okay, so another one. So I hope you enjoyed this one and you found this useful, and see you on the next No Bullshit review.